fuck up. It's time to talk business. Jared Taylor, Matt Best, and Evan Hafer proudly present Blackhearted. Sponsored by BlackRifle Coffee Company and Arson Wave.
Oh, hello from Vegas.
Hello. That's the first time I've heard the new intro. I like
Oh,
it. Right?
oh, it's got your name in it.
I know. I felt nice.
yeah.
Thanks.
Your name's
guys.
all there. Name's all there. We are in Vegas right now.
We are in Vegas, and good day. Throw another fish on the bobby.
No, that's
right?
definitely
That's
not.
Australia.
That's Australia.
That's
That's not
Australia.
Yeah, sorry, it's
Same thing. It's
BRCC
a prison-
Canadian or something.
It's a prison colony.
Yeah, but
Right?
So today,
The best thing Britain ever made, America.
I would like to say we did give it back to you. You didn't win it.
you didn't win it.
You gave it back.
What color was the White House? I'm sure it was black.
He was
That's
on
when
fire.
we finished with it.
Especially the last 8 years.
Yeah, I don't think these comments are going to do me any good anyway.
So last episode we talked about. Oh, last episode was angel investors. That's right. But before that, we talked about strategic partnerships. We are going to take that a step further in international partnerships with Ben here.
Yep.
So, Ben, we'll let you kick this off with a little history on what it is that you do on the business side, and then we will go into how we came to know each other and what we're doing in the future.
Yeah, cool. Well, we are basically a UK operator apparel brand, and we sort of started off about 10 months ago. Found a
10 months ago.
10 months. I know.
Infant.
I know. I'm such a pup.
It's a little pup. I like it though.
But yeah, so what we wanted to do, we wanted to sort of bring American apparel, American brands back to the UK. Get you guys a chance to buy your stuff. So a few months ago, we approached you guys and said, look, can we get you guys into the UK? And you guys are brilliant. You just helped us out. Said, yeah, we'll get on board.
So what does that process entail? Like, I imagine it involves a lot a boats.
Everything is shipped
To,
on boats, right?
everything-
to be
everything's on
honest,
boats?
yeah, initially I did think it was shipped on
Strictly
boat.
boats.
Or
We're sending shipping containers of
Yes.
product to his yard.
On ore boats, right? They're all ore powered.
Well, if we were going to send tea the other way, I would be afraid that it might get sunk in a harbour somewhere. Well, recently you guys, squared away a new way of shipping it over to us, so it comes over within, 5 days. Increases the life shelf for your product. We can get that shipped out to all the geezers.
No, that is amazing because
Yeah.
it does it cuts that buy time down for people in Europe. Are you going all Europe? Or are
Yeah,
you
definitely.
doing,
Yeah. So
just
I
the
mean,
UK?
we want to open up to the whole of Europe. So we offer shipping across UK and Europe, as well as BFPO, which is our forces shipping method. So
Which is super awesome because, like, on our other business, Article 15 clothing, like, it takes, average 30 to 45 days from
to
the purchasing date
get over
to fulfillment date. So it's not fulfillment, but customer in hand with
This
products.
year,
So,
we're going through that stuff. We're trying to improve everything.
yeah,
which is
optimizing stuff like that. And having
optimizing the experience when shopping.
yeah, I think that's it. I mean, now everyone's buying everything online. We don't actually have a physical shop. People expect
Isn't
it
it true?
to be there.
When's
so-
the last time you went to a store and just bought something?
Groceries
like
don't
groceries
count.
don't count,
No,
but like when you're
no.
like looking at a product that you enjoy,
Specialty
like,
item.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't even. I Amazon Prime everything other than
Almost
like
even kitchen utensils.
Yes.
I did that. I got some.
I Amazon Primed a refrigerator.
Did you really?
Holy
a
cow.
refrigerator was on Amazon Prime.
You know I don't have any time.
No, but Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Primed
It was
refrigerator.
free?
They
Yeah.
deliver
Like a full
refrigerator?
size or
No, the one that was in my
oh,
office.
the beer one. I was
Yeah.
like, that's impressive. They'd
Yeah.
send a whole
That
fucking
counts, though.
refrigerator.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time I get to fucking Home Depot and then go through all this shit, it's like
Putting it in your
that's
truck.
like an hour and a half out of my day.
It's worth more than
I can't, Well, I mean, everybody knows. Like, I can barely tie my fucking shoes or take a shit half the time. Rob follows me into the bathroom and it fucking works. So
Sits on
I
your
did
lap.
walk.
He
I did
sits
walk
on
in
your
to take a
lap.
piss the other day, and he was talking. He was like, "Have to catch him somewhere where he has to stand still." I was like, "Can I take a piss, Rob? Because this is weird."
What was he holding it for you?
He's
What's he
sitting
doing?
on his lap.
No,
No,
'cause
I-
he gets Evan like chambered in where he can't leave, and he has to piss for 30 seconds. He's getting older. His prostate
Backs
probably takes a
into a
little
corner.
while to relax. So you know, he gets them there to talk shop for about 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So
45 seconds of good shop talk.
good shop.
Good
talk.
prostate check. Shop talk. Fuck yeah. I'm in and out.
So let's hear more. Let's hear more about
Yeah,
this
let me hear it.
process. Everything.
Yeah,
everything you got going.
So yeah,
you
I mean,
started
as I said, early days,
10 months ago.
but 10 months ago, yeah. So everything we're doing at the moment is the front of the shop is everything about sort of operator apparel, working with companies like yourselves, Beaver Fit, and Rogue American Apparel as well. We also work with some Australian companies, so we're getting that into the UK where they wouldn't really get a chance to get that, and it would cost them a fortune to bring it over from Australia. Hardcore Hardware Australia and also Platac. But really, the big goal for us really is to support an organisation called Four Rangers, who provide all the training and kit and equipment for the anti-poaching rangers in Kenya, Tanzania, and across Africa. So everything we do builds up as a brand, and then in turn we can then support the rangers. And
What is the
awesome.
response so far that you've seen now that you've started it off?
yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, to be honest, lads, you know, I can't thank you enough. I think once I first put your gear on the shop, it just went crazy. It just went absolutely crazy. Problem is, everyone's going, "Oh, have you got this? Have you got that?" And we're slowly building up. You know, we're getting the right client base as well. So
It's awesome.
Yeah, have you kind of selected the first products that you wanted to enter, and like have you built out a plan as to?
Well, that mostly evolved about what products I wanted personally. So it came. I went shopping in your store with Logan. And next thing you know, I came out with a hoodie, a mug.
That is funny. That's
So,
like
yeah.
any time I've done stuff, and like when you're creating designs and new products, like it's all based off of like if you have good taste, that's the way to go. And starting up your company, that's the perfect way to look at it. Like these are my tastes. Let's see how they sell. And they probably
Yeah.
are the best sellers, and then you can expand from there, which is
Yeah, I
cool.
quite agree. I mean, my background's the same as you guys. So, I mean, I wanted to reflect the sort of things that I think look good. I'm an ex-paratrooper, and one of the things we used to say was alliness saves lives. Alliness was a word that was born out of North Africa, where they thought that the paras would look different, and it made them look good. So it was a word that we sort of used and adopted to make it, when we think we look alley, that means we look good.
Ali, I like that.
Yeah, so one of the old COs in Afghanistan turned around and said, "Alliness saves lives." I mean, fucking hell.
Dude, I think that there is like a direct like correspondence between like morale and performance, obviously, and I think that the way you feel in your unit absolutely like correlates to how you perform. And if
Yeah,
you're like,
massively,
I'm
yeah.
looking fly, I'm looking cool, then that's why certain units perform better, not necessarily based off of just training, but
Yeah, I agree.
alley, right?
Yeah,
I have
Alley.
one term that I've heard from
Is it alley, right?
It is Ali.
from
Yeah.
Alley?
a
Okay.
British
Is she a girl
soldier.
that
Bob's your uncle. They use that all the time.
No,
Yeah, definitely,
I
Call Blimey
gotta
Governor.
fact check this. He said a Rupert is as useful as a chocolate teapot.
Yeah, or
What's
tits
that
on a
mean?
fish.
What's that mean?
Or what? Tits on a fish.
See, we do
Tits on a fish or
tits on a boar
hog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tits on a swamp donkey.
Yeah.
Eating
Tits on
algae.
a-
Do you know that analogy? The tits on a boar?
No, I never heard it.
Because it's a male pig. So like, what the fuck are
I know, but
tits
well,
good for?
we've got them as well. So I mean, we could use the same analogy on ourselves as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what male tits are not? What tits on a dude?
What are we doing?
I don't know what they're.
I don't know.
They're good for.
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'd be interested in. So you reached out. You reached out to Black Rifle Coffee, Rogue American Apparel, a bunch of other American brands. Of course, we know Wes and the guys over at RAA. So when you're deciding who you're going to go with, were you just basically searching through social media? Was that kind of the decision making process? How did you decide on that?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, the brands I chose are the brands that we've been wearing, and the brands that is sort of alley to us.
Right.
So I looked around my unit, looked at what everyone else is wearing, what everyone else liked, and that's what we did. And what the stuff I've been wearing.
Right.
I think those brands represent what we do and what we've done. So that's kind of why I mean, I've been asked a few times, will I represent another brand? Will I do these and everything? I don't think I would.
Right.
I don't think I would. I think first of all, if I did too many brands, then I can't really represent the brands that I think are important to me and to other people. So
Well, you maintain a sense of authenticity, which is
Yeah,
great
massively, yeah.
for your business culture.
yeah, I think it's important. As I said, I think that gives great control to those brands, and it gives us some identification to those guys, and it makes us a little bit more.
Do you have plans in the future to do a small shop? Because that just seems fun, like a place that that the people you want to hang out with are coming in.
Yeah,
all the time.
I'll go there and get alleyed out, bro. I'll get alleyed out.
No, definitely, mate. I mean, the whole point of this was so eventually we want to do something a bit like what Wes has done. We want a decent sized barn. And inside there we've got all the brands that we like. We've got a bar, we've got Chase Vodka and Distillery down the road from us. Get some good booze in.
That would be great.
Awesome.
A bar and a military awesome apparel store.
Yeah,
I like the sound of that.
But we will put some Beaver fitness rigs in there just so
Yeah,
so you don't feel so guilty.
Oh, Beaver Fit.
Beaver Fit.
Man, we're getting all kinds of weirdos walking in this house.
Let's talk about kind of the what is the atmosphere like in the UK for small businesses and stuff like that? Is there a lot popping up? Is it not so much, or what?
Yeah, I think there's definitely some. We had to look exactly, as I said, with the sort of brands that we put on the shop, why we would be slightly different. A lot of apparel brands are popping up. I don't think they've got the right look about them.
What would you say the percentage in your shop would be of like UK-based brands, American-based brands, other European-based brands? What?
To be honest, I think I'd probably be looking about 60% international brands, and then 40% what I'd like to do and what I intend to do and carry on doing is working with brands who are local, ex-forces guys who run their own things like Kydex.
Who do you have out there? Like, is there anybody that in the UK? What is the UK's version of R15? Do you have anything?
I'll be honest with you. I don't really follow any other brands.
Really?
Right.
But it's just, that's got to be. I wonder if there are any, because look how many there are over here. There's got to be some guy that got out.
There's got to be some.
Yeah.
Hey, I got all kinds of funny.
Yeah, but they're super serious,
Yeah, we are.
There's a lot.
jackasses.
Yeah, there's too much. I think they've gone over the top on their apparel and the designs. It's a bit too murder, death, kill, rather than actually having a t-shirt.
That's literally how Or Space in the United States was. Literally until probably around 2014 is when the culture of like what military clothing apparel looked like. It was all murder, death, I am this, and that still exists to some stance, but a lot of it is comedic at this point, and I think R15
we see the
changed that
conversions
dynamic.
on the comedic,
Because I think
people want to be funny. They
because
they want a conversation starter. They don't want to fear. They don't want. Some people like to strike fear.
And your level of what you've done in your life, and I think a lot of other guys in the soft community, like they don't want to have that overt I'm a badass. They kind of like the, oh man, I used to jack off in a porta-john. That's funny that's on a shirt.
Yeah, quite agree.
It's reference the experiences and what you've done, but you're not like boistering about your service, saying that you're awesome. So
yeah, I think it's also as well. If you look at the apparel, look at them. They're soft tees. They're that fitness,
athletic.
and that's what
fit.
people like as well. Rather than just like these Fruit of the Loom T-shirts with some shit print that they've just come up with.
Right.
So I think you get the whole. Not only are you going to get an operator look, but you're also getting what comes with the operator. You've got someone who's into their fitness and also being a professional military guy or involved in that. So I think the styles are completely different to what they probably were before. With those.
Well, absolutely. I think like the soft community kind of became, romanticized. And so you see a lot of people that look up to that, maybe didn't partake in that for whatever life decisions they made, but they still want to kind of live vicariously.
Which is a compliment.
Which is a compliment. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, look at the airsoft community. You have like these young kids that are going out and, playing cosplay essentially of operators, quote unquote. But that's awesome because they're looking up to being a patriot, to serving their country and things that I truly believe in. So them as kids, that's awesome. And if them dressing up in multicams and a fitted T-shirt and that inspires them to work out and be a patriot, let's do it. It's better than drugs and being a degenerate.
Yeah,
so,
I quite agree.
Yeah.
It's not a bad hobby really.
It's not.
You'd rather your kid doing that
outside, and it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I quite agree, mate.
Well, how do you guys? So when you're marketing your product, your company, are you marketing it specifically in the town that you're in through your unit, your buddies? Are you guys marketing it through social media? Like, what's your marketing plan in the UK, and how do you get the name out there?
Well, to be honest, we I think we've hit Instagram quite heavy.
Yeah,
and Facebook as well. We sort of stayed within. The hashtags of operator, military, CrossFit, fitness, that sort of stuff. And through that, we got the right likes. And I think it wasn't necessarily it was the products that we had on the site that
I
did
love that, by
marketing
the
for
way.
us.
The right likes. We'll come back to that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that's important. I mean, we could easily go on and pay a fortune to get shitload of numbers on there, but really we don't want that. We want the right people to be on there, and that way it gives our brand a bit of credit as well. I've got no intention of selling out. I think it's important, as we sort of talked about earlier.
What would you define in terms of selling out to be? It's a hard question.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
I don't know. I think probably being a complete Walter Mitty on TV somewhere.
Walter
Give
Mitty.
us some examples of maybe some British guys that have sold out.
An
in your
American
opinion.
Matt Best. That guy's a seller.
There's been a few. I mean, look at any of these programs.
Is
These
Bear
so-called,
Would you call him that?
I would say one thing about Bear Grylls. I mean, he's the patron, or he's in charge of the Cub Scouts, which is
Is
great.
he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he does a lot in that for charity.
see,
I think whenever the small fabrications that he may say that he's done or whatever,
Right.
With a pinch of salt. It's like a lot of those. There's a couple of TV programs on TV at the moment. I mean,
I feel like that's a rock and a hard
Have you-
place,
have you
right? Because that brings light to a lot of people who didn't know maybe the affiliation of the unit that he was in and things like that. Brought it to American culture and almost made aware of like, okay, this is what these units are doing, and that awareness holds its ground because whether or not you want to talk about like the American SEAL books and all these things that are out there, it did great for the unit and being a patriot and serving the military. So it's hard to judge them when there is a positive
exactly.
impact.
I mean, that's what I said then. If you're looking after kids at a root level, and you've got Cub Scouts and everything else like that, the morals and everything that sat behind that, you're going to get a better kid in the future. And if you've got someone who is, he's outdoors, he's promoting things, and he's pro forces.
Yeah.
Good on him. But there's always a
a
little bit
caveat,
where- There's
yeah.
always a caveat, and the caveat is that when they say that he was in the Smash or whatever he says he was in, it's,
Right.
okay, he was kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he's drank a lot of animal piss.
Yes, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's
When you drink that much
Overqualified.
urine and raw
That-
meat and bugs, imagine it goes to
That's
your
Probably
head.
did anything.
It's pretty legit.
Yeah.
So the a couple things that I think would be interesting just to kind of sum up a lot of what we're talking about is like you reached out to us via Instagram and then it was email, but ultimately you found yourself in the States. We went face to face and then we cut a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was looking through social media.
Yep.
Putting a link out or some type of form of communication, and then following up with a face-to-face. So, we get fucking buried out here with, 1,000 different things that we're doing all the time. And to be honest with you, like I say this to guys all the time, I'm like, just come out. Let's put, eyeball to eyeball, and let's talk about business. See if we even like each other,
But I think that's a testament to what a good business owner is going through that process of grind. You can't expect, like, we're at SHOT Show right now where someone goes, this is my product, you should support me, and that's it. It just doesn't work on that level. There has to be follow-up. There has to be a face-to-face. This is my character. This is the culture of my brand. Are we interested? Do we have a workable relationship? And then going from there, look, it can work. It's viable.
phenomenal.
Was there ever any hesitation in getting into a deal with Americans? After the whole 13 colonies thing.
Why did you think I was going to get my country back? Is that what you thought?
Did you have some?
You
I
thought
was
this,
just wondering if
you
you
thought
had
this
some
was an
reservations.
invasion,
Are
didn't
you planning to throw our coffee into a harbor?
Harbor.
Because I'm curious.
That is the commercial that I want to film in the UK.
Hey, you should get that Washington outfit.
Could
on
you
again.
imagine?
Let's go
we
start
go to
throwing-
the UK. We're hurling coffee into the harbor dressed as colonials.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
That would go on the news.
Black
wouldn't
Rifle coffee now sold.
it? In the UK.
Yeah.
And it would stick to American culture because you'd be completely historically wrong as well.
There's the animosity.
Historically wrong, but always right.
I live in the United Kingdom, where the history comes from.
Hey, to the victors, the victors tell the history.
Yeah.
We were all aware of that.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, the British just got tired of fighting us after a while. They're like, God,
It's a longboat ride.
give them the
Lionel,
let's
are
just
you
give
done
'em that-
fighting the
give them
Americans?
that fucking thing
Well, we were
back.
fighting the French at the time as well. So
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys
Busy
are
time,
kicking the
busy time.
shit out of them, though. Like that's just
Think about what would have happened if you guys would have been overrun by the French. You guys would be sucking each other's dicks and wearing like tight jeans. Wait, this is a business cut. It's a business cut.
That's happened. That's happened.
Yeah, what was that battle? What was that battle where the French all got stuck in the mud and you guys all just walked out and just
Agincourt, yeah.
just zipping them up left and right?
Won by the longbow.
One by the
Oh
longbow.
yeah, they all got stuck in the mud and their archers just rained arrows on them for a few hours.
Yeah.
I've been watching the history of Britain. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary series on this. Logan, I think you've been watching it too. What was it called? It's Winter is Coming. It's like
I know exactly what you're talking. I saw that.
that is
it's like
that
5
is
seasons.
that is a fabulous documentary
It's an
series on
amazing
HBO
documentary, yeah.
on
Is it
Britain.
really?
Yeah, it's called Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game
Oh,
of Thrones.
yeah.
It's really
They
good.
got the accents right in the right place as well. Northerners up the north.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
always
Those are actual like old files from like real time, right? That's
Those are-
real.
yeah,
those
real
are
footage.
MI6 files.
MI6.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
real.
I
They
think you
just
guys,
colored them, right?
you
They're
guys
like-
haven't even got any old files, do you? I mean, what's an old file to you? Like, I don't know, maybe.
I don't
100
know. I have to
years?
look into my hard drive. I have to look into my hard
in the
drive.
200s.
No, we generally reset about every 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
No, as you said,
Listen,
we decorated this building to look as it did over 50 years ago. No one was alive then.
I think you can do it. You can do actually a historic walkthrough in Vegas, though. You've got like Eiffel Tower there for the European side.
Yeah, is it a culture shock doing business in America or with Americans? Is there a lot of, I guess, cultural differences between the way that the Brits do business and the way that we do business?
I'll be honest, I couldn't answer that question properly because I think my background, your background's, the same. So I think we talk on the same page.
Right.
So I mean, I haven't really experienced that with anyone else. If I was to work with guys who were civilians their whole lives, I wouldn't know what that would be like.
Right.
Obviously, talking to you guys, we speak the same language, slightly different accents. I pronounce my words correctly.
Right.
You don't.
I was waiting for the
Yeah,
shit.
I was
talk.
waiting for it.
I mean, I'm from Southern California, so I talk like a little sissy boy, Hey, bro, what's up? Shock and Brock'em, shred the gnar.
Because it's interesting. So we actually, though, we're obviously you're from Britain, we're from the U.S., but the common ground that we have is really it's through the military, and more importantly, it's through war. So we have this like common experience through all the NATO countries and a lot of the other guys that we have more in common with you than most of the civilians in the United States.
If you share that experience, that supersedes pretty much everything else in life because
Everything.
it's such a high thing in life that
Right.
whether or not you're from whatever country, anything, there's no other experience that's not
And
subordinate to being a warfighter.
France is never going to be part of that crew.
Well, they dropped their guns,
Yeah.
right? Do they fight wars?
They kept running off. Eh?
I think the Legion still does, right?
Yeah, there's still,
Maybe.
there's still a
Oh,
few
yeah.
good guys.
Do they?
Yeah, there's good guys.
We've
We're
had
just
a,
poking
we've had a
fun.
couple, yeah, we've had a
We're
couple of
poking
French
fun.
soldiers send us some cool stuff.
We're poking fun.
The problem is we're such a small country. We keep borrowing everything off you constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, to be honest, it's a bit embarrassing. We've been out with you guys. We will put the graft. We will do everything that needs to be done, but we probably still go, can we nick a couple of boxes of rations? Some ammunition, uniform.
Can we borrow those Apaches?
Hey,
But I'm here.
Just pull the route that the U.S. Marines do. They do. We do everything you can do with less food and iron sights. We're like, well, you're stupid because
And
I have
women.
lasers and food. So why would I do that? Logan Stark shaking his head
I
at me
can
because
see
he's
that,
a
yeah.
bird. He knows what's up.
I remember showing a guy from the 2-2 back in the day. I was showing him these cool devices we were wearing called NVGs, and he was blown away by them. He was like, "I just have this angle lens torch,
Yeah.
and that's what I use to clear buildings."
Yeah, we throw chem lights
Yeah.
and it lights up the room. You're like,
That's-
what?
That's a joke. That was a joke.
Before
man.
we go out, we
love it.
just shut our eyes for a couple of hours just to get our acclimatized, and then we're good to go.
The funny thing is, like the one thing I will say with working with the Brits versus the Americans, like because we are such a prominent gun culture, we shoot our fucking asses off. I grew up shooting. I grew up like at a 22 at like 5 or something like that, and it was no challenge to get to the range. Plus, when I was in the mill, like I'd hit the range on the weekends. I was in IPSC tournaments and all kinds of different. There's always a shooting event going on in the United States, always. So when I go to the range with Brits or Aussies for that matter, like you wouldn't even have to try because you just don't get the range time.
No.
And But the tradecraft or their hard skills like planning and things like that, man, they were fucking incredible at just the devil is in the details type shit. Whereas like we're just brute force and lots of ammo.
Yeah, I think we've had to be. You know, we've had to be the guy that thinks out the box or be a bit more cunning, a bit more ruthless in some ways. Just because we've never really had the logistic support to back us. I think your logistics during the Second World War is probably still better than what we've got now.
Wow.
You know, our militia. It's kind of funny how it's reversed now. We've got a militia and you've got an army. And yeah, it's terrible. But that's one of the things, you know, there's not enough. It's only in the last few years where, you know, the regular army and other units, they've got pistols and they use pistols all the time. That shooting's got better. But before then, you know, and even now, we just don't get enough ammunition to do it. But, yeah, when we go shooting, we probably got a Labrador next to us and then
you're
12
fox.
I love bird hunting,
You're
though.
fox hunting.
I'll take it.
I want to hunt a fox.
Yeah.
But I don't want to kill it. I want to pet it.
He's just looking at disgust. He's like,
What are you going to do, lick it to death?
Yeah, that's how I'll lick a fox.
Yeah, I don't know. They might not let you do that, but so you know, I guess like some of the things that we've answered here, which is reach out. You know, internationally, you can reach out, and English is a very common language spoken. Whether you're, you know, we've had people reach out to us from France and Germany and several other European countries. You know, of course, it's broken English at times, but sometimes it's better English than what we speak. Yeah. And then you get them on the phone. Like I was trying to have a conversation with a German a while back, and I could barely fucking understand the dude. He obviously knew a lot about coffee, so that was the good thing. Like he knew a ton about coffee. He knew exactly because the roasters that we're using are manufactured in Germany, so they're Probotone roasters. So he knew a lot about coffee, but we just couldn't get the communication dialed to the point where it was like effective. So for us, you know, being that we've communicated via email and then we've also gone face to face. Now this is our second time that we've been face to face. Super easy to get a business deal done, you know, and put it over the line. But really, it just boils down to communication and trust with a lot or a little bit of transparency. Ultimately, you know, it was a handshake agreement. You know, you came out, did some shopping, handshake agreement, which was, yeah, let's do this. This is easy. Take the stuff home and let's start selling it.
Yeah.
And there was no significant risk on our part other than like, hey, this guy seems solid. Let's just do it. And it didn't take a lot. It was just literally let's make the commitment to move in and see what happens.
Yeah, I think for us it's you know, it's mega important for us to just show a bit of integrity, show that we are the right people for you guys. You know, and that's what we wanted to prove, especially that first month when Logan sort of squared us away for that first month after meeting you.
Right.
I hope we did, and we've proven that we are the right guys for it. Especially with the response back from the UK, and now we've opened up shipping up into Europe as well. I mean, it's
amazing.
Fucking hell, amazing, mate.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just that. There's other great feedback as well. And we've had some of the charities come out to us, and also we can help out and things like that, which is great because they want to be associated to you guys and that's on the website. And also some of the smaller brands. There's a couple of, like as I said earlier, some Kydex guys, some ex-military guys starting little companies as well. Hopefully, even though we're small guys ourselves, we can, being associated to you guys, we can kind of promote them in a good way as well.
Right.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, to our European and United Kingdom listeners, where can they find this?
So HR4K, the Hereford Kit Company, and they can find it online with...
Spell that out.
It's
website.
www.hr4k.co.uk.
Awesome.
And we're also on Instagram at the Hereford Kit Company and Facebook, the Hereford Kit Company.
Awesome.
Go follow.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Cheers. Have a good time.
Cheers.
Have a good shot show.
Cheers to our European brothers and UK
Cheers.
guys. Love you
Cheers.
guys.
And that is it for this week's Blackhearted.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, along with Arson Wave, would like to thank you for tuning in to Blackhearted. Have a great fucking day.